Good afternoon. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to afternoon news source only here at Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines, the Philippines is stepping up preparations for this year's ASEAN Summit in Manila, with regional leaders expected to gather in November at the newly renovated PICC. The Alliance of Concerned Teachers is urging DepEd to demolish unsafe school buildings and inspect public schools nationwide following the recent powerful earthquake in Mindanao. The Philippine National Police is urging the public to avoid speculation as investigators continue to examine the deaths of two college basketball players in Aurora Province. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's lead lawyer says his crimes against humanity trial at the ICC could last between 1 and 2 years. Tourism officials have warned travelers to exercise caution as seasonal jellyfish blooms are reported in several coastal areas of Cebu and Bohol. Wholesale electricity prices jumped nearly 39% in May as rising demand and power plant outages tightened supply across the country. The UAAP says it will wait for the outcome of ongoing investigations before deciding on possible sanctions against Ateneo over the deaths of two student athletes. Actress and former beauty queen Winwin Marquez says representing the Philippines should be defined by dedication and patriotism, not ancestry. Today is June 11, 2026, Thursday, and I'm Chynna Basillaje bringing you today's top stories. Let's get started. First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos has convened the organizing team for the final preparations for the Philippines hosting of the ASEAN Summit in Manila this November. The 49th ASEAN Summit and related meetings will be held from November 10 to 12 at the newly renovated Philippine International Convention Center in Pasay City. The event is expected to bring together leaders from ASEAN member states and key dialogue partners including the United States, China, and Russia. The government has yet to confirm which world leaders will attend. The Alliance of Concerned Teachers has called on the Department of Education to demolish unsafe school buildings and conduct a nationwide infrastructure audit following the recent magnitude 7.8 earthquake in Mindanao. DepEd reported that 1,378 public schools were affected, with more than 1,500 classrooms destroyed and thousands more sustaining damage. ACT said the figures highlight the vulnerability of school facilities and the risk facing students and teachers. The group also urged DepEd to prioritize repairs, retrofitting, and reconstruction of damaged structures. And the Philippine National Police has urged the public to avoid spreading unverified information about the deaths of two college basketball players during a training activity in Aurora Province. PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. called for restraint and respect for the victims' families as authorities continue their investigation. Police have recovered CCTV footage and are using forensic and evidence-based methods to determine what happened. The PNP said it remains committed to completing the investigation as soon as possible. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's trial before the International Criminal Court could last between 1 and 2 years, according to his lead defense lawyer, Peter Haynes. Haynes said the duration of the proceedings will depend partly on Duterte's health and ability to participate in court sessions. The ICC is expected to continue monitoring the former president's fitness to stand trial through periodical medical assessments. Duterte's Crimes Against Humanity trial is scheduled to begin on November 30. And the Department of Tourism in Central Visayas has warned travelers and resort operators about seasonal jellyfish blooms in the waters of Cebu and Bohol. Officials said warmer sea temperatures and changing currents associated with the southwest monsoon are bringing jellyfish closer to shore. Sightings have been reported in several popular tourist destinations, including Mactan, Mualboal, and Panglao. Beachgoers are advised to remain cautious, wear protective clothing, and follow safety advisories. Meanwhile, wholesale electricity prices rose by nearly 39% in May due to stronger power demand and widespread plant outages. Data from the Independent Electricity Market Operator of the Philippines showed average spot market prices climbed to 7.79 pesos per kilowatt hour from 5.63 pesos in April. Demand increased faster than available supply, resulting in tighter reserve margins across the country's major grids. The higher prices also pushed the total value of electricity traded in the spot market to 29.55 billion pesos. And the Philippine stocks closed lower with a benchmark PSEI declining 37.06 points or 0.62% to 5,904.30. The broader All-Shares Index likewise slipped 20.21 points or 0.61% to 3,284.30, reflecting broad-based weakness across most sectors. Services stocks were the lone bright spot, inching up 0.002% to 3,173.25. Meanwhile, financials and property counters led losses among the major sectors, falling 1.12% and 1.13% respectively, while industrials and holding firms shed 0.67% and 0.60%. Mining and oil stocks posted the steepest decline, dropping 1.51% to 15,429.93, adding to the market's downward pressure and outweighing the marginal gain in services shares. And the UAAP says it will wait for the result of ongoing investigations before deciding whether to impose sanctions on Ateneo over the deaths of two student athletes in Aurora. UAAP Executive Director Attorney Rebo Sagisag said due process requires hearing all sides before determining accountability. A multi-agency panel has been formed to investigate the incident and recommend stronger safety measures for athletes. Officials said sanctions will be considered if negligence or rule violations are established. And former beauty queen and actress Winwin Marquez has weighed in on debate over identity and representation in Philippine pageantry. Marquez said dedication, hard work, and love of country matter more than ancestry when representing the Philippines on the international stage. Drawing from her own pageant experience, she stressed that patriotism and commitment, not bloodlines, should define a representative. Her remarks have resonated with pageant followers advocating a broader view of Filipino identity. And Katribu, did you know the highest court in the country, the Supreme Court of the Philippines, was established by Act Number 136 of the Philippine Commission or Taft Commission on June 11, 1901, with Cayetano Arellano as its first Chief Justice. Today, the Supreme Court celebrates its 125th anniversary. And the collaboration music video by three girl groups Cat's Eye, Le Seraphim, and Eyelit has finally been released, garnering 5.4 million views on the first 12 hours. In the video, the girls showcase powerful vocals and dance performance while throwing shade to their haters. Thank you for the comments. It's because of all your hate, I'm iconic by mistake. That's all for now. Join us again at 4:30 p.m. still here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Once again, I'm Chynna, Basillaje, and this has been Tribune News on Q.